What's up, everybody? This is Darren from ClefToneGrooves.com, and as promised from last week, we're going to talk about levels today. Welcome back to another edition of Getting Better Audio at Home on this fine Friday. I hope you guys are doing awesome, and I hope you got some great plans for this weekend as well, too. I know I do. I got a buddy getting married out in South Dakota, so I'm enjoying myself. Go, Lucas! Woo woo! So now you probably noticed that I am shooting at a different angle in my typical set of Getting Better Audio at Home, but that's because I've got something, a really special treat in store for you guys, a big project I'm working on. So just know that something awesome is coming. I don't want to tell you about it just yet, but I'll just tease you a little bit with it. But for now, it also doubles this setup that I have right now for what we're going to talk about today, levels. So let me move on into that now and show you exactly what it is on my screen here in Studio One. So we're back in my favorite DAW, Studio One. Of course, you already knew that. I only mention it every other week on my show, but I digress. I have a track here already, and I have it record enabled so that you can see my levels live coming into Studio One. And anyway, sorry, that was my news announcer voice. Anyway, this is measured in dB full scale, this metering area here that I'm bringing your attention to. dB full scale goes up to 0, and when you reach 0 and go beyond, you have clipped your audio. Clipping is bad. I want you to remember something. Once you've recorded something, if you've clipped, there's no coming back from that. You have to re-record. You can't turn that down any kind of way. It's clipped. It's just done. Your goose is cooked. So go back and re-record. The other thing I want you to remember is you notice that I'm coming in here minus 24, which would seem low, but you can always turn it up after the fact. And the nice thing, even though that I'm low here, the reason is because the difference between digital and analog. A lot of people like to run their stuff as hot as possible, even on digital equipment, but you don't have to. That comes from the analog days where the equipment they used back then had a higher noise floor that they had to get over and drown out. So that's why their playing, their singing, or whatever they were recording had to come in much louder at the time. And it just so happened that the analog equipment that they were using, if they did clip, actually added a little bit of extra character to whatever they were playing. It had a nice warm crunch to it, so to speak, or it had other cool effects that it would do. Not so in the digital world. If you clip, it's just nasty, all right? Remember that. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and record a test take because right now the meter is green, but when you're playing something back, it's actually blue. And there's another little thing here that I want to show you just for fun. It won't really help you in any way unless you're like a true audiophile. I mean, it could help you, but let me just show you. Let me just do this record here really, really quick. Okay, so this is a test recording. This is Darren from Clef Tone Grooves, and cut. All right, so there's the test recording. Now, what I want to do is just disarm the recording track here and unmute so we can hear it. And the reason, by the way, that I had that muted is I'll just go ahead and record enable this really quick and let you take a listen. So with it record enabled, you hear this weird delay signal, right? So that can be a little distracting if you're trying to record and not hear a double signal of yourself. What that basically is the computer taking time to process the signal versus your audio interface taking time to process the signal. The interface is just a little bit faster than the computer, and that's where you're getting that double slap delay sound. So anyway, let's go ahead and just play this audio back really, really quickly for you. I'm going to unenable this, and let's play this audio. Okay, so this is a test recording. This is Darren from Clef Tone Grooves, and cut. Okay, so there you noticed when you played that back, there's a white line here. That's RMS versus what's dancing up here. Let me play that back again. What's dancing up here is what's called peak, and that is real time, how loud you are at any given time. RMS is your average of how loud you are regularly. And when you look at the RMS, sometimes, especially when you're doing an audiobook, certain places will want your RMS levels to be a certain level for your book to match other people. And that's where that comes in handy, is seeing where this is and making sure that that's at the right level. So that's the RMS peak. And then, the RMS meter or RMS level, and then you have the peak, which was above that, which shows you at any given time, in real time, the volume of your audio. So that's levels for you guys. Watching your levels may not be the coolest thing to do when it comes to audio, but it is very important when you want to get your best sound. You don't want to come in too low because, like I mentioned earlier, some places that you want to send your audio to require that you be within a certain range for your level. And then at the same time, you don't want to be so hot that you clip because it sounds really nasty. Just try it sometime. You'll see what I'm talking about. But that's what I have for you this week, guys. And again, I got something really special, but I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet. But here's to getting better audio at home, and you have an excellent weekend.